For many years, Star Wars fans believed that Darth Vader would never return to Tatooine. Why would he? It was the source of so much of his pain and suffering. But, in a story told across the 2015 Darth Vader and 2015 Star Wars comics, he does return. To understand why Vader returned, we need to go back to an event that took place just weeks after the Death Star was destroyed, on the planet Cymoon 1. Vader was sent to Cymoon 1, where the Empire had the largest weapons factory in the galaxy, to negotiate, or rather force a deal with representatives of Jabba the Hutt to move materials through Hutt-controlled space. But things didn't go to plan. The supposed envoys of Jabba were actually the rebels responsible for the Death Star's destruction. Soon realizing this, Vader felt the presence of the pilot who blew up the Death Star. Unaware of his identity at this stage, Vader pursued the boy where he came face to face with him. He was clearly beyond Luke, and as he was about to execute him, he stopped dead in his tracks. The lightsaber this boy was using was his. The lightsaber of Anakin Skywalker. Before anything else could be said, the foot of an AT-AT came through the building, separating them. Luke and the rebels destroyed the weapons facility and escaped, leaving Vader furious and more curious than ever. Vader returned to Coruscant to report to the Emperor, where he was ordered to complete the negotiations, this time in person. Palpatine seized the moment to toy with his emotions, casually remarking that a visit to Tatooine would be sentimental. Vader soon arrived at Jabba's palace, entering in a way that mirrors Luke's arrival in Return of the Jedi, only far more brutal. Where Luke used a force choke on the Gamorrean guards, Vader simply cut them down with his lightsaber. And when Bib Fortuna confronted him, Vader didn't attempt the Jedi mind trick. He ignited his saber and demanded an audience with Jabba. Disrupted from his sleep, Jabba was enraged at Vader arriving a day early. Vader had Jabba dismiss his court as he reveals the early arrival was due to personal business. He would return the next day to conduct official Empire business. Jabba, preferring the bounty on Vader's head, ordered his men to attack instead. They were quickly killed. Vader seized Jabba by the throat with the Force, and the Hutt immediately changed his tone. He claimed he couldn't help but respect Vader, and agreed to supply him with his two greatest bounty hunters. Before meeting them, Vader searched for a Tusken Raider camp, where he viciously slaughtered them all. Later, Boba Fett and Black Krrsantan arrived. Vader gave them their missions. Boba was to track down an X-Wing pilot who knew an Obi-Wan Kenobi, the boy who destroyed the Death Star. Krrsantan was sent to investigate a mysterious agent Vader briefly saw in Palpatine's office the previous day. Vader wanted to know who he was and what secret business he had with the Emperor. The bounty hunters accepted. Vader departed Tatooine, returning the next day to conduct official Empire business, as though nothing had happened the day before. The negotiations concluded easily. Jabba would provide any resources the Empire needed, so long as he was paid well. As Vader turned to leave, Jabba invited him to a banquet, insisting he sealed business deals by watching something die. Aboard Jabba's sail barge, Vader and Jabba watched banthas being hunted for sport. Jabba's pet Kowakian monkey lizard, Salacious B. Crumb, let out his typical hysterical laugh. Vader warned Jabba that he should not allow his pet to laugh like that again in his presence if he valued its life. The Hutt laughed it off, saying how glad he was that they were good friends, and inquiring about the usefulness of his bounty hunters. Vader warned him about mentioning the private matter, as Jabba brought up the boy that Boba was hunting could have been trained by old Ben Kenobi. Upon mention of the name, Vader asked Jabba what he knew of Kenobi's time on the planet. Growing bored of the bantha hunt, Jabba ordered the sail barge to head towards the Great Pit of Carkoon, wanting to impress Vader with the Sarlacc Pit. Jabba believed it to be one of the few treasures located on the planet, as he spoke of how hard it was to believe that anyone of note could have been born on Tatooine. Vader said nothing. He simply watched the twin suns of Tatooine set. That was the story of Darth Vader's return to Tatooine. A chapter that many believed would never happen, but one that shaped the course of his search for Luke Skywalker. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into Star Wars lore, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more stories just like this one. Let me know in the comments what part of Vader's return surprised you the most, or if there's another moment or character you'd like to see covered next. Until then, may the Force be with you, always.